Hi, this is Matt from tracyandmatt.co.uk, and here I have the eagerly awaited HTC Touch Pro. As you can see, they've retained the box design from the HTC Touch Diamond. So let's just open up and have a look at what we get inside. See, plastic box inside, which is quite sturdy. So if you need to keep this, if you're the sort of person that wants to keep the box pristine, then you'll certainly be able to do so. Secured either side with plastic tape. Okay, inside I have the device itself laid right on top, but let's just look at the other bits and pieces first. Inside the lid, I have a flap where we find the HTC Care, which is the telephone numbers and everything else for support, and there's also a CD-ROM, which is Getting Started Guide, and another CD-ROM which contains sprite backup and an electronic version of the user manual, and also Active Sync. So that's everything in the top part there. The Touch Pro itself is just underneath, and we're going to look at that in more detail in just a second. Underneath another plastic insert we have, thankfully, a pouch included, which is quite good quality. There's a Velcro bit inside that stops it going all the way through, so it can be pushed in from either end without falling all the way out the other side. And also the interior is very soft and designed to actually clean the screen of the device when you push it in and out each time. So quite a good idea. Also inside we have a set of headphones, a wired headset with an inline microphone, which is HTC branded, as you can see there. Push button, but no volume control. Enhanced mini USB on the other end, and we'll see headphones, pretty standard for HTC, and these are typically quite good quality. There's a sync and charge cable, which is a mini USB variety. Covers for the headphones, the spare stylus, and then the charger itself, which is a USB style charger with adapter that plugs on there for UK. And finally there is a battery in the bottom, which is not totally dissimilar to the Diamond battery, but it is higher capacity at 1350 mAh. So let's look at the Pro itself. Obviously everybody knows it has a sliding keyboard mechanism, very similar to the Titan 2, which has earned it the unofficial name Titan 3. So closed up, let's have a look at the front. We have a forward facing camera, have a 2.8 inch diagonal display, which is VGA, so 480 by 640. Underneath we have a home and back button, the D-pad and phone keys below that, send and end phone keys. If I just pull off the protective cover, we can see that a little better. Touch sensitive D-pad, which has zoom functions, very much the same as the Touch Diamond. On the side we have volume control, rocker, up and down volume control. On the bottom we have the connector for sync and charge, space for the stylus, which is non-telescopic, hooks in the bottom. On the top there's a simple power button. On the back we retain much of the design of the original Touch Diamond, but you'll notice that there's two cutouts in the back instead of one. One's for the camera and one's for a light for illuminating your shots. Back slides off as so. So underneath we have space for the SIM card, obviously the space for the battery, which pops in just like so. And also, unlike the Diamond, there is a micro SD card slot, which is going to be a very welcome addition for many people who missed that on the Diamond itself. So it all plugs together like that. Quite a neat package, obviously a little bit larger than the Diamond, so let's compare that just now. You can see very similar design, rounded corners on the top rather than square corners. From the front you could think they're exactly the same device, but it's when you turn it over we see a difference in thickness, and obviously there is a significant difference in weight. Diamond's about 110 grams, the Touch Pro is about 165, but if we compare that to the Titan 2, Titan 2 is around 190 grams, so it's about 30-ish grams, 25-30 grams heavier. So the Touch Pro is a little bit smaller, and obviously the benefit of that VGA display. So opening up, we can see the keyboard. Incidentally, a number of questions that we've already had. Does the screen tilt? No, it doesn't. It's not the same as the Titan 2. The screen doesn't tilt. It is fixed. 5 rows of keys then for your full QWERTY keyboard. There are some additional function keys. There's an SMS, MMS button, email button, and a function there with brings up the internet. Good quality keys, little smaller than compared to the Titan 2. You can see there, a little smaller than the Titan 2, with 5 rows instead of 4 rows of keys. So there are additional keys because there are actually number keys in their own right rather than a shift function. So good quality keys, quite tactile, and individual keys rather than being a screen printed or anything like that. So quite impressed. So let's just power up. And while we're waiting for that to come on, let's just go over the specification. That's a 3.2 megapixel camera on the back with autofocus, but with a built-in mobile light. Processor's the same as the Diamond. It is a Qualcomm 528 MHz processor. Windows Mobile 6.1 Professional. ROM's up to 512 meg and RAM to 288 meg. Display, as I say, is 2.8 inch diagonal, and it is VGA. So if we just do our tap to set up here and align the screen, and we'll skip through the rest. I haven't installed my SIM card, so we just need to wait for the custom applications to install, which is pretty common for these devices. Carry on talking about the specification. It is quad band, supports GPRS, Edge, 3G and HSDPA. It has built-in GPS, Bluetooth 2.0 with EDR, and built-in Wi-Fi, which is 802.11b and G. And the expected talk time is listed as 397 minutes, and standby time is 503 hours. We'll get a better idea of the actual talk time and standby time as we use the device over the next week or so. So after installing all the customization, the phone reboots. We have the Touch Flow 3D as we come to expect, virtually the same as on the Touch Diamond, where we can scroll through people, messages, which is SMS and MMS, email, the internet, which still includes YouTube, photos and video, music, weather, which is trying to download and update. We have our settings, and finally we have programs. You notice that a number of things have already been pre-populated on here. We have Google Maps, RSS, Excel, OneNote, Word and PowerPoint. Back to the home screen. One thing I have noticed immediately is that the buttons around the navigation are a lot softer than on the Diamond, are a lot easier to press, which is quite good. And also when we open up, not only does the keyboard illuminate if necessary, there's also a completely different menu that comes up here, which relates more to what we're doing with the keyboard. It brings up email, messages, bookmarks, web search, calendar, tasks, notes and contacts, also call history and phone. There are LEDs to show you the status of shift and function buttons, which is again very similar to the Titan 2. And when we close, obviously everything rotates back to normal. So we cover the software and installed applications in a little more detail when we come to do the review, which will be online in around a week or so.